Alrighty. Good evening, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and tag everybody one more time. What's up? Good evening, everybody. What's up? We're gonna give everybody here just a second, and as per usual, we'll go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, good evening. It is nighttime here in Georgia. Yeah, same difference. That's the thing, leaning to the left so hard. What's up? How you doing? Pretty good, man. Just another day, another live. No, just playing. What's up, y'all? I appreciate those kind words, Cast Iron. That is really nice of you to say. I need some sleep. Listen, guys, I always need sleep. There is not a time where I'm a dad, so that just comes with the territory, having a 2-year-old, and so there's not much I could do about these tired eyes. Maybe a little bit of allergies, I don't know. Um, yeah, as per usual, guys, make sure to check out the YouTube if you guys want to actually comment. YouTube is going to be the best place. Any moderator, if you guys don't mind, lead our friends over there to that link in my bio. Can I make Microsoft file for bankruptcy? I could try, but I think I would end up filing bankruptcy. You know what I mean? All right. I really attend to the back of my head. What do you trade, and have I ever traded futures? Nah. Link in the bio, but what do I trade? I trade options. No thumbs. I appreciate that. Crushed me Friday. You got crushed Friday? We got a little slap, but it's part of the game. Part of it. Yeah, definitely. We'll cover those in just a moment. Just gonna share this live one more time. All right, I will be taking some requests tonight, so I would give another a brief description of options and stuff like that, but I got a couple of things to get to. We're live on YouTube as well, so we're gonna go ahead and go live or go over the news and whatnot. So, how was everybody's weekend? Hopefully, you guys. When am I moving? Well, this has been probably one of the most. I can't. It's kind of even. It's not frustrating to talk about. It's just at this point, I feel like I'm out of breath because if you guys were to look, in my area on Zillow and stuff like that, you would feel my pain. Um, it's definitely an extremely tough market, and houses we've been approved for, and we're about to sign. We've had people come in with straight cash and just scoop them out from underneath us. So And by, some of these homes are pretty expensive. So even the ones that we've just looked at, even rentals. Unfortunately, the Chiefs just lost. Oh, I forgot that they were playing tonight. I mostly do options. Yeah. Um, Alrighty, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna get started. Hopefully, we have more people on the YouTube show up. But if you guys are here or been here before, you guys are dig the stream, make sure to leave a like on YouTube or on TikTok here. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started with our news, our weekend rip, and we'll go from there. Um, so last week. We saw Nasdaq clawed back about 2.14 this week or last week after falling 6.38%. Um, the week before. S&P collected 1.7% in gains after falling 1.73% after falling 5.18% last week. The Dow Jones was up 1.92% after a 4.8 dip last week. Whether indexes are on sale or trapping bulls, it's hard to say for the short term. We're going to talk about that more in just a little bit. The only index that lost, as per usual, was the Russell with a 0.9% down last week. So just to cover your cryptos, crypto market broadly speaking wasn't much better off than last week. However, Bitcoin and Ethereum were treated with a pleasant green week. Crypto's two-star studded cryptos 6.7, 5.6 respectively on the week. So ultimately, the story right now is whether we're going to go up, divergence at its best. We can appreciate a green week, but we know not to get our hopes up too quick. It is too early to celebrate, obviously, with we have not even quite close to are coming to make a recovery. And this has been one of the most significant pullbacks that we've seen in quite some time. As at least, from even Trump talking about no stimulus and whatnot. And as you guys can see on my chart here, um, you know, for the most part, the market has shown off, and this stands out in a sea of green. So, right now, as you guys know, there's still tensions. Pentagon warns Putin still adding Russian troops to Ukraine. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby indicated that Russia will continue to add troops near the border of Ukraine, giving members of the international community something to worry about. Just weeks from China's Winter Olympics, as reflected on in the previous, or actually, we talked about this last time, last Sunday. So, I've got a lot of questions. Will the war affect uh, SPY? Would conflict, in that area or elsewhere, China or Russia? Yes, absolutely. And these are wars that, a lot of the other wars that we've gone up and are participated in previously. Let's just say they haven't been Russia. So I do think that the implications of a war with Russia or China, or both, especially, yes, it definitely is going to will you'll see a reaction from the market. Now, eventually, obviously, the profits of war, unfortunately, begin to start to reflect, and you'll start to see corrections. But again, this is a whole new chapter in history, so we can't go defining things based off of how every other war has gone, because it is in fact war. So Disney Gapfield Chewy has a great setup. If you guys have any comments or anything like that, make sure to put those on the YouTube channel. I would appreciate that. Sorry, my glass is a little dirty. All right. So of course, we got to go over our economic calendar for the week. Um, So January 31st, running into April. We have the Chicago PMI. We have the IHS Market Manufacturing, ISM Manufacturing Index, construction spending, JOLTS. February 2nd, NBA Mortgage Application Index, ADP Employment Change, EIA Crude Oil Inventories. That's a high impact data point. Initial claims, continuing claims, productivity. I think what is that? The let's see. I forgot that what that abbreviation. Yeah, non-farm role productivity and unit labor cost. I forgot what the PEL was. But anyway, those are high impact data points coming on February 3rd. Unit labor cost, IHS market services, factory orders, ISM non-manufacturing, et cetera, et cetera. And then, of course, non-farm payrolls, non-private payrolls, average hourly earnings, unemployment rate, and average work week all coming in at the February 4th high impact data. So we do have another high impact data week, of course, with the current climate as is. StockTwits is not popping up. That's weird. It's like the whole website was down. All right. So earnings this week, 31st, guys. This is gosh, this is all looking. I'm gonna explain kind of what I'm thinking going into this week. Stock Sensi, thank you, I appreciate that. YouTube is not working. Wait, hold on, what? Yeah, Rewad, that's a great yeah, that's a great point right there. Options for Netflix plug spa. Your ideas just got here if you're saying it again. Nope, haven't said anything quite yet. Welcome to everybody on YouTube. YouTube should be working. It is Simple Stacks Investments online. So if you guys want to talk to me or comment, then please do so for there or do so there. Sorry. Alrighty. Anyway, so earnings, the chart, SPY. I don't know if you guys remember. I think about 2 weeks ago, I talked about how the sentiment as we were falling was likely to change going into, or that if there was anything that was going to allow us to bounce, that it was going to be earnings. And here we go. So last week, crazy. Of course, we've seen a significant drop. Crazy head and shoulders on SPY. We just backtracking this entire week. Tons of money made, guys. We had some really awesome movement to the downside. Friday, especially on the small account. I know a lot of you guys with regular in the Discord, you guys were making bank on your own or playing some of your bigger account plays. Able to get out. I know some people made money on the same plays that we were in. Able to get out quicker, but small account didn't have the best of the luck on Friday, but if you look at the week overall, we had an excellent week, and that was obviously sponsored by some seriously good volatility to the downside. But as you guys recall, we had that large inverse head and shoulders on SPY, and seeing quite the recovery. And I'm taking a look at this chart. I'm taking a look at earnings. And again, if you guys take a look at earnings, we got 32 companies on Monday, 76 on Tuesday, Wednesday, 111, Thursday, 148. So we have not only do we have a lot, we have some significant, big, huge names, excuse me. So Monday, I've got some smaller names, nothing huge. And then Tuesday, AMD, Starbucks, Google, PayPal, General Motors, EA, it's in the game, UPS, MicroStrategy, Facebook, QCOM, Spot, T-Mobile, all coming in on Wednesday, Thursday, Snapchat, Amazon Ford, Nokia, GoPro, Activision, Pinterest, Penn, Unity Software, Merck. I mean, this one's actually got some pretty big names on it all the way through. And then finishing the week with just a few, kind of a lull, but you still have some smaller but recognizable names there. And then not obviously we're still going to be moving into another week of earnings right after that, and this one's going to be chock full. I'm pretty excited about this. So make sure that when you start taking long or short or whatever positions that you know when the earnings is, because that is obviously vital information that you need to know. So it's working for some reason. My quality is no bueno though. Do you ever sleep? You know what's funny is I haven't been live all week, and like people think I've been live all week. I mean, if I look tired, then yeah, I mean, I have children, so that's gonna happen. Stock Sensei, thanks, man. I appreciate you. Uh, no, unfortunately, we haven't gotten the moving stuff. It's been, yeah, it's just been not the greatest. Sorry, TikTok for the. All right. Um. Hey, what's up, John? You got it. Perfect. Is it bad to trade options during earnings? I actually have a strategy that I use to play earnings. Usually, it's always a gamble, so yes, but I mean, there's ways. All right. So one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you guys about the chart and SPY and earnings and why I'm reflecting on the previous gains. Um, that's not good. Why I'm reflecting on the previous gains that SPY has had going into this earnings season and where we could possibly go. So step out to the daily with me, and go back and let's look at the previous uh, dumps that we've seen on SPY. And right here, and you can just use the nearest ones. You can kind of go back historically, and you'll notice something that eventually, and a lot of the times, especially here, I think I saw another one as well here. This even a little bit uglier, but there, and even weaker sentiment and volumes. Obviously, the Fed pumping, but all of these dumps kind of look exactly the same. The difference is that SPY has, through this whole thing, never finished or closed a week below the daily 50-day EMA. And that's kind of been our guide. Even here, we did hop back up above it on the weekly. And that's something that I've noticed. And that's why I actually do think that this is the start of a possible correction. But corrections, again, and I'm going to show this to you guys. This is a idea that I posted a long time ago, but this is just a simple model on what the difference is in movement in a bear market, a market correction, so on and so forth, right? So with this, look at that from when I made that post, and then it just absolutely going bonkers. But anyway, so the difference here with this stock market crash, market correction, bear market, obviously, kind of a trend. It is in trend. It is a bearish trend is a thing. So that's kind of where you still get those moderate bounces, bull traps, et cetera, et cetera. A market correction comes oftentimes in fear, a lot of fear, and we've seen market correction type movements. I would even say that this movement here was a market correction, and we are not market correction, but a small correction, and we've seen small corrections, and you guys can see kind of the similarities from this to this. But the main difference, the main thing that we can take note of and factor into what we have going on now is that whether this would be the start of a correction or a bear market, because we've seen that first initial leg down, we can also expect some pretty, not necessarily dramatic, but I think substantial moves to the upside, which draws me to my next point. Now, this was the dynamic trend line that SPY was abiding by, and you can kind of track that. Obviously, after this support bounce that we saw on SPY the next day was absolute shit show, and for pretty much the next couple of days we just dumped. Now step down a little bit, and you go to the hourly, you guys will notice one of the key things, and I will tell you from experience that it is not very often that SPY will leave gaps unfinished or unclosed. And looking at the confluence, right? So I've got resistances running into key levels and key levels running into dynamic supports. Um, with that being said, I see that there is a gap on SPY, and it also runs straight into what was previously my resistance zone. So I am putting a price target of around 460, 450 for what likely, and now this could happen quickly. And I'm also just, this is not like, I will let you guys know, if my sentiment changes on Monday. The one thing that I wish, and I don't necessarily Mo trades economics. Oh god, this guy does not want smoke. I promise, dude. I've seen this guy's. Yeah, dude. Nah, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and block you just for your sake. Uh, yeah. There's nothing wrong with what I'm saying at all. Yeah, tush. Anyway, so gaps, this gap on SPY, this entire move, I'm not saying for sure. One thing that I would say you really need to do, is be up early. I know that there's some people who say the opposite, that the work should be done previously, the night before, and I think that's important. Have those key levels set. But being up in the morning to, you have to wake up, get yourself ready, but also take time to observe what sentiment is building, in the morning. And that's oftentimes where I see the most trades set up. If you're rolling around and rolling out of bed around 9 o'clock Eastern time, 30 minutes before the bell, that's not going to help. And I'm not saying you're not going to be successful because you wake up at 9:30. I'm sure a successful trader with years, 20 years of experience could possibly do that. But I still think that it is worth being up early, and with that being said, I will be up early and I will be paying attention to where SPY opens up. Do we gap down? Do we gap up? Or are we going to stay in range? My thoughts are one of two things. Because of the inverse head and shoulders, there is the possibility that we do drop down and we go for one more drop, one more chance to fake out the bears. I can't say that Google or any of these earnings are going to be the catalyst. And if I said that, I'd be wrong. But I do have a feeling that a few of these earnings might be just what we need to help the market bounce back up. Your Amazons, Facebooks, QComs, AMDs, Starbucks, Googles, PayPal's, those type of companies. PayPal's had the absolute dog shit beat out of it forever, it feels like. So, a really awesome earnings report for PayPal could substantially move the stock. So, which would then in turn, obviously, PayPal doesn't hold a huge percentage in SPY, but it's still a sentiment thing. So. Alrighty. So besides that, all in all, I think that one or two things, we go pop up, hit this 444.20, and then possibly head back down to the 435 mark. So I'm gonna just project this really quickly. And then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my watch list, uh, which is relatively small at the moment, just because we are gap trading. And if anybody hasn't told you, when you're gap trading, oftentimes the gaps come or are filled in the morning. And a lot of the times that's all you need is a gap up in the morning, wait for that key rejection, and then take it to the downside. So yes, the gap at SPY at 400. Are you talking about to the downside? Yeah, there's a lot of gap. There's a gap there at 400. I think there's another gap. There's tons of gaps here in the 335s. Trust me, if we go to war, I'm pretty SPY is going to go down. Like to, I personally think that these gaps will be filled on SPY eventually. That's who we need right there. We need that guy. What was that? Market site? No, I don't. Hold on one second. I'll be trading SPY. So that is actually one thing that I will be watching is SPY as well. And again, guys, I'm not the one thing that I will be doing is if we take any swings, I will not do it without some sort of hedge because you do not want to wake up in the morning and find out that we're going to war. And then all of a sudden, your positions are unfixable. There's no way that you can get out of them. So Microsoft is on my list due to the recovery I'm anticipating on SPY. It does have gaps to the upside. They're pretty far up there, but 326. Microsoft is known to put on a show for days and days and days. As you guys can see here, Microsoft it performs really, really well off of bounces. So I'm waiting for some key levels like 310 and this 316.50 to go long for a retest into the 325. So now, again, I want to reiterate, I'm okay with this not being bullish, and if we end up the sentiment changes, I will change with it, of course. Another stock that I'm going to be watching for a bounce is Starbucks. Finally, Starbucks and our accounts are able to play this one. It's finally got another bounce. It's up against a key level, or getting close to a key level, $100, of course. But I would like, or excuse me, 98.35. But there is a gap on Starbucks, 99 to $100 even. So thinking about taking the Starbucks $100 calls to the upside. I am well aware that they have earnings, and I am. Is that right? That's not right. Wait, they have earnings on Tuesday. So they have earnings on Tuesday. So I am going to be possibly straddling Starbucks. I will let you guys know. But going back and looking at the previous earnings that Starbucks has had, they tend to do okay as far as volatility is concerned. And seeing how hard they have dumped, unless the only way that they open up flat is if this is earnings is already priced in and we just see them open up where they're at because this fits valuations or whatever. So I'm watching Starbucks, and then of course, as you guys know, we'll be watching Disney. Disney presents a gap as well. Disney does have earnings, I believe, next Wednesday, which possibly can give them time to get up. And so here's the thing. I want to play up to the gap. So this week, if I see Disney trend up, and I'm going to be using the 15-minute mark of the 139.50 mark and the break of 140 for a signal to potentially go long. But we break into that gap around 149. I think it was around 149.35. So I'm anticipating seeing Disney see its first major rejection around there. So watch list is pretty small at the moment. I will update you guys tomorrow morning once we kind of get general feel of the news, et cetera, et cetera, and the sentiment going into that day, and we'll go from there. So, if anybody on YouTube or over here wants to, Ethan, yes, if you trade live with us tomorrow, our account has about $750 in it right now. So, our small account challenge. Discord live trade. I do trade live on Discord. But I've been trading live on YouTube, Discord here as well. Seven. It was, yeah. We got clapped. I got actually stuck in a position due to not being able to get filled on Weeble. So it was a little bit of technical error. Looking back, I should have just taken the loss rather than try to trade my way out of it. So obviously, adjusting back to a small account, those are things that you have to remember. So how long do corrections generally last? They can last from a month to 6 months. So when is Bitcoin returning? I mean, I have no idea. I'm not a Bitcoin guy. Um, could you please talk through what you expect when you buy the same strike, play, or call for a straddle swing? What happens at 9:30 the next day? What do you look for, and how do you close out the positions accordingly? Are you closing both at the same time, letting the positive and cutting the negative? So, with any earnings play, you can expect the highest amount of volatility at the first, opening 30 minutes of the day. But the first 2 minutes, the contracts are going to be what is hardest to get out of. It is really, really crucial to have hotkeys. And that is one thing that has limited me from trading earning straddles on the small account is because I can't get in and out um, of these positions like I normally would. And that being said, I'm most of the time I will either run through an options calculator, factor in what the price could possibly be. But the number one thing is you just have to get out. If you gap up and you have calls, I sell the calls. Um, Sometimes you can even continue to move up, and because of the loss of IB, you're gonna still lose potential gains. My recommendation is if you can't get out with the expiration being out long and you can't get out within the first 30 seconds to 25 seconds of the day, then you shouldn't try to play. That being said, there are contracts that are out of the money that will retain value regardless and will actually gain IV. And that's oftentimes why you see me go out of the money based on supply and demand zones. So for Disney, right, if they had earnings tomorrow, I would likely take calls anywhere around 150 because it's obviously in range. We have gaps, supply demand, and it to the downside, I would be looking at levels like 120, right? Or even the gap fill here, which is too close. But we could still see the 120 level and the 115 be a level that Disney falls to. And that's how I would set it up, but I would make sure that the expiration is short enough that I'm not putting too much out there. Now, you can take a position on Disney for longer, right? And you know that if it's a big giant gap up, a lot of the times, like here, you're going to fall. Eventually, even if you do move up, you're going to pull back. Those gap ups here, even here, you still get a bit of a pullback. So, and actually, if you look at the wick, you actually get a pretty almost 50% of that gap filled. So there is the opportunity oftentimes, depending on the move, to get out from underneath a position or a contract. So, but anyway, if you guys have any stocks that you guys would like me to chart or look at, please leave those comments on the YouTube channel, or if you're in the Discord, leave those there. So yeah, future's looking pretty crappy. If you guys, I can't track all of those, and I want to make sure that they're documented. So hit the link in my bio, go to the YouTube, comment that. So spy on the daily. This is with a pullback. I would disagree on the daily. The weekly, yeah, the weekly maybe a little bit more, but it's still a big ass red candle. So tomorrow will be very interesting. Yeah, we're gonna be a little conservative there. So, um, try to leave the ticker name, not the company name. It doesn't really stand out amongst the text. All right, so the first one we got is Roblox. Absolutely demolished. Your boy called puts here. Not gonna. I mean, it's pretty cool, but I still have FOMO because this company sank to all-time lows. So I kind of caught it at a really good spot, all the way in the hundreds. So it's lost over basically $50, over $50. Me and I was just about to say, me and Big Stepper absolutely beating the crap out of Nancy Pelosi. But this one is in need of a major bounce. It does have earnings on February 15th, and it did make a doji. So oftentimes when I see these type of candles, and this is a strategy for some people oftentimes, but starting on the daily, I always mark the top of the wick, and that's oftentimes how people will play dojis. They will, because it's a doji, it could go lower. So you could use the bottom of the wick, 54, or the previous day's low, or previous day's high, the top of the wick, as you can see, bounce level, rejection level. So above that, I would anticipate running into the $63 and $65 level. Now that we've kind of seen what's going on the lower time frame, we also can be sure that we have a pretty well established downtrend, right? Look at this. Take a look at that. Coming all the way from the top. So there's also one of the main things here is that anytime you go down, you must go up. So shorts, got to be careful. Mark out these key levels. If it held the stock up, it's a level, right? Look at that. It didn't go down, something's there. So we're going to go there. We're going to set okay, look at that. So we got one to the bottom of these candles, two, and then this one can't quite reach, but it's there. Three. So it does seem, from what I can tell, in this downtrend, the 50-day EMA on the hourly has been respected, and it also looks like the 200 right here, right? That's 200 days of data. That one is going to run in confluence with my major resistance mark. So now that we kind of got that all set up, the thing that we can anticipate is a run into support. Now, how and that's going to look, um, I'm not that guy. I can't, a lot of the times I will see potential setups for moves. Like this is a really good setup for a potential inverse head and shoulders. This is also a really good setup for, um, oops. Do you use volume to enter and exit trades? Yes, of course. Volume is absolutely crucial. So, oh, Optisy, thank you for the tips. Thank you for the gifts. Anybody who leaving likes or leaving any gifts, I appreciate that. That's super nice. Um, so anyway, Roblox hit one of my take profit zones on Friday. Oh my God. Um, but I think just in nature, I think Roblox needs to bounce, and that bounce, is likely to first hit, I think, $65. $65 would be my first target. Above that $65 mark, the next one, and it moves, and this is something that I can actually say by experience because I have traded Roblox quite a bit, but it does move by a lot of the times by fives or to its five, like 95 or 90 or 90 or 85. Like it moves or has, I've noticed, made a stopping point. So 65 and 70 just happen to be key levels as well. And then if you move up right here, you guessed it, $75 is the next level right above you. So those are three levels to watch. I'm not quite sure about 75, but I do think 70 and 65 are likely targets. So absolutely. So futures apparently have been pushed up or are up at the moment. And I will say that anytime we gap up, it always makes me, unless it's like a 2% gap, like Manny says, always makes me feel a little bit uneasy. So, but anyway, so resistance right there, I would have that resistance marked and just kind of watch how the volume behaves around these levels. So, all right. So what is the next one? We've got Netflix, right? You guys, best brokerage, could you please do some lessons on volume and what they tell you? I mean, sure. I'm not like at the moment, but that is something that we will be addressing. I'm gonna restart this TikTok stream really quickly, all right? But I would recommend hopping on the YouTube if you guys actually want me to chart anything. It's low latency there, so it's really fast. But please feel free to hit the link in my bio, hop in the YouTube. I'm gonna restart the TikTok. All right. I will say that Netflix looks like absolute. So we got one of two things here. All right. One of two things. And I'm not entirely sure which one's gonna how we're gonna play out. So I got this. I thought might end up coming into play, which would set you up around $400. Based on the trajectory, I've got 401s, 405, maybe somewhere in the 405 range. Obviously, Netflix has a massive gap that needs to, or I can't say. Obviously, it's not going to all at once going to get filled. I do think, if I'm not mistaken, oh, that's right. So, do we play Netflix or do we play? which is the one that we played? It was Netflix. So it was Netflix. Okay. I have one or two things that I'm thinking here. That there's a resistance here, and that's going to be 40. We're going to call it 404. And this bottom, right? So, oops. So kind of that wedge ish look, and I've kind of been like toying with different ideas of as to what exactly Netflix could be setting up, and this is the most likely that I see. So I honestly see Netflix running into the 390 level and then going down, where I think it's going to see 360, 240, which would fill its gap. So that is a gap that is one that we can watch. It is likely going to be out of the small account range. But yes, Netflix does have a setup on it, but does have a gap to the downside that it needs to fill. I would not watch. I would watch Netflix over the 395 mark. So what's up, y'all? Hotter it's Sunday. Yeah, we got to get ready, brother. Market up or down on Monday. Well, we shall see. I'm only gonna chart here for another. So thinking about changing up Sunday. By the way, I know I'm on a little bit early. Thinking about starting at 6 o'clock. Um, in the afternoon Eastern time. Uh, that way everybody's off and East Coast people. I hate to. I don't like being up late at 9, 10:30. That's kind of when I'm starting to like want to wind down. And so that way I can get up early, and that's the goal. Is that I want to start getting up more. Oh my god, more earlier. That is exactly why I want to get up earlier. Is because of shit like that. So help me get some sleep and get some sleep while my daughter's sleeping because she's an early riser as well. So but anyway, this is my setup for Netflix. I hope you like it. I made it myself. I think that we either reject here and then fall and fill this gap. So hopefully not, but sure kind of looks that way. Tesla. Everybody wants Tesla, so I think I should do Tesla. If you guys want me to do Tesla, make sure to leave some likes on the TikTok page. I appreciate that. And if you don't follow the Potter Stocks Instagram, guys, we're giving away an Oculus. That's one, but we got another giveaway coming too. I think you guys are gonna like this one as well. But it's just gonna be whoever follows the Potter Stocks Instagram. So if you guys aren't following the Potter Stocks Instagram, it's in my link tree. Please go follow that. It's pretty boring right now, but I'm gonna start posting more stuff on that. This small account watch list is just Disney, Starbucks, Spy, at the moment, and Microsoft. But I will update you and probably have a few different tickers to add to that tomorrow morning. I just have to go and look at the gaps and the gap downs. So that charge point play, guys, that was so beautiful. I remember it like it was yesterday. Thank you for the follows. I see you guys following. Appreciate that. All right. So, Tesla. All right. So this is what I got for Tesla. All right. And I've been watching, trying to get an idea of like what the hell is going on here because, it's actually been Uh, this has been one of the easiest moves to track for Tesla. As far as like being in this channel, falling out of wedges, staying in downtrend, filling gaps, all of that stuff. Tesla has been a beast. But again, going with the old doji method and just keeping an eye on previous resistances and supports, you guys can see the top of this 4-hour doji that we formed here. The daily, look at that. So the first time, what a candle, y'all, on Tesla. But this is the first day that we closed underneath the 200-day EMA, right? So we need to get it back above it. And you'll notice that the wick that I drew is the 200 EMA. And that's basically going to come at 860. So when candles start closing, mind what I said, candles start closing above 860, then we can start to talk shop and look at levels of 900, which is the most likely retest level. Now, as far as whether or not Tesla has broken down out of a channel, it sure as hell looks that way. I have kind of battled with myself whether it's going to be here, but I've settled on the fact that these wicks show serious levels and are to be respected. And so we did finish up underneath, so literally right up against. So what do we do anytime we break a level? We always retest it, and that is exactly what we did. So if we are going to continue to fall, we could see levels up here, but we would have to finish above this level. And so I think anywhere above 860 is beneficial for Tesla. I think I've got AMD. Ooh. All right, AMD just made the watch list. Why? Because it's got a gap. We love gaps. Gaps are great. That's an ugly gap. All right, so in the name of retesting supports, I think that's exactly what we're going to find ourselves doing right here. And this has the perfect setup to do it. So really nice channel. Man, that looks familiar. Almost looks like Tesla, right? Not quite. But I think what we're going to do anytime that we fall like this, you've got some key levels, mark those out. So we've got AMD, right? 110, perfect. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, all of these candles. What does that mean? The ceiling becomes the floor. That means that we're likely going to retest it. That's our next level. That's our next goal. Right after we get above 105, 106, which is currently our point of control going all the way back to July of 2021. So I would give you guys levels of 110, right? Right above you. And then I would obviously give you the 50% mark of that, which is going to be around 113, 114. And then going into the gap. The gap closes, but what I'm really anticipating here, y'all, is a retest of that dynamic trend line. So looking something like this, right? So we're going to probably see this level get hit. Anytime you hit a level, whether you break it, so we could break above it and then retest it, that is the most bullish scenario. That is what you would like to see: a break above, a pullback, possibly even a run up again. And like I said, the goal is to get that gap filled. So right there, even if it didn't take this trajectory, right, and it ended up going somewhere else, or maybe being a little bit more dramatic with its movements, however it gets there, as long as that gap gets filled. But the main point, I think it's 118.35, is it would still give you the setup and gives you the setup for a retest in what is likely the beginning of either the beginning of a downtrend, or, if we're going to find out shortly, the end of one. One other reason that I am also thinking this, I don't know if you guys see it, but I see it forming. This could be the start of a potential Head and Shoulders. We have and oftentimes see these major pumps, and this is pretty damn big. So AMD would either have to make an insane recovery, but I don't see this type of movement. This is the type of movement I would want to see when looking to take a stock to the upside. But this is a type of movement I would see when I would expect a bull trap, and that's exactly what I think you have here. What is being analyzed? You. Kita. I do trade options live right here on small account, big account, your account, my account. No, I don't do your account. You do your account. I am live on YouTube right now, and if you guys have any questions, comments, chart request, drop them right there, and we'll go from there. Thanks for the insight. Very helpful and easy to understand. Cool. If I'm making sense, that's awesome. That's my goal here is to spit this stuff at you in a way that's easy to digest. That was probably the worst way to word that, but you get what I'm saying. What'll be baby birds? High risk of recession, if you ask me. Tell me about it. How do I set up an account with you? I mean, you're more than welcome to join our Discord. We do have premium spots available, but don't buy our premium or anything like that unless you are knowledgeable or have some type of base level insight, which is available in our Discord as well. We kind of have a step-by-step process. I'm taking my vitamins. Yeah, I use gummies. I'm a big boy. Thank you. Ready to lose another $1,000 on Tesla? That's funny. Don't do that. All right. What is that? Perfect. Look at that trend line. Oh, my Lord. Don't you just love it when that shit happens? All right. So, again, look at that. That's cool. So that's Uber's been in a bear market. That is a bear market right there. You guys want to know what that is? That is a literal bear market. Damn, I got to take a picture of this. This is what I mean. So, a correction, a bear market, or market crash. That's a bear market, right? So, we're climbing. Everything looks right? Oh, it happens again. Almost looks exactly the same. Keep note. Take a mental snapshot of this price action here, guys. Look at how much red is up there in these zones, right? That's not what happens in uptrends. These rounded tops are perfect. This gap on Uber, oh my God. That is the most beautiful gap I've ever seen, ever, in all time. Like, if I had seen this, I would have put the life savings, all of my fiance's life savings right into this play. So with that being said, it looks like you're going to hit the $36 level. That's in combination with the top of your resistance as well as your 9-day moving average. I think this is support until you move into earnings. And that's February 9th. That is not that far away. That is a week. Shit. Sorry about that. If you guys are asking me questions about stocks, you've got to make sure that you go to the YouTube and leave your comments there so that I can actually scroll through and see them. TikTok is absolutely pointless. It's the link in the bio. So yeah, just Venmo me the Tesla loss, and I'll just find a good use for it. Oh shit! Oh shit! Those are gunshots. Did you guys hear that? No, I did not move. There's gunshots. Ugh. That's just kind of the name. First, yeah, it kind of happens right now, and that's sometimes it's just in celebration. All right. Um. So this is actually a pretty nice setup. Yeah, Savannah, Georgia. All right, so this is actually a really interesting setup. So I'm almost positive 35.90, right? 36 bucks. Absolutely, we should see a break above that. That would give you I think 37.80. One of the I mean you did hit a major bounce level. Um so I think that there's a possibility to go fill both of these gaps. So I would say 37.75 is a decent target for Uber, as it's the most likely to I think that gap is going to fill coming from this downtrend. If you look at the previous bounces on Uber, like look at this and look at that. It does offer some pretty decent room to the upside. So no, investing in stocks while college would not be a dumb choice, but buying giant chunks of stocks in college probably not a great idea unless you literally have that kind of type of money. So, which in that case, I don't know, starting your own college. Yeah, definitely exciting ER. Give me my opinion on Hood. Um, Garbage company, garbage liquidity, garbage movement, garbage volume, um, garbage owners, garbage platform, garbage exchange, um, garbage. You get it. If I can do anything else, you let me know. How about Tesla? Garbage. No, just kidding. I love Tesla's okay. How about Weeble? Garbage. I'm using Weeble right now, and I lost 250 bucks on the small account, which it's my fault. All right, I'm not saying, but it wouldn't have been my fault if I would have been able to sell my contract. That whole day would have gone differently. So, so happy that you said Hood sucks. Yes, it is. Puts on Hood, not even puts. Just let it die. Alrighty, I got a few more minutes here, guys. Be up early with me if you wish. I will try, I'll tweet out on my Twitter, and I'll likely go live early on TikTok as well as, um, the Discord. So if you guys would like to join me earlier than usual, be sure to be up, and we'll be chopping it up about pre-market. I'm For those of you guys in the Discord, I'll probably be in the members channel, so that way you guys can actually unmute yourselves and just talk to me, ask questions. If you have a plan, you want to go over a chart that you've already looked at, those of you guys in the Discord can do that. So, um, all right, so the next one that I'm getting is, we'll do Ford after this one, but Home Depot. So I'm getting a lot of people pointing this one out to me. So we'll take a look at it. Definitely seems really, really likely to fill. But the question is whether we're going to be able to afford that type of um contract for Home Depot. I definitely see a retest of 372, which is the gap fill. Do you see the 200-day EMA? I like this setup. What I would want to see here is, and I'll draw it out for you guys again because we're so close to a resistance level. What I would like to see here is, I don't want the whole gap filled. I would want a lower time frame, right? Let me go down again. So I would want a lower time frame retest, right? And then a gap fill. So when it initially breaks, I would wait for the rejection at 368.75. Um anyway, um so yeah, I'd wait for the rejection retest and then pop up. So we'll add that one to the watch list. We'll add Home Depot. It does look good for a gap fill there, and then from there you could start eyeballing the gap up to 385. So yeah, when you try and get out of a trade in a hurry on Weeble, it definitely is not fun. I'm almost positive that you're gonna go back up to $20.50 on Ford. Ford is pain in the ass for any investor, I'm pretty sure. Heavy consolidation area, guys. If you guys know anything about supply and demand, right? Some major demands out right there at the bottom. We're at $19. This is where we held before, where we're likely to hold again. If you break below $19, you might get waxed. But I do think 2150, there is a possibility there's a small gap that could get filled there. And unfortunately, that might actually bring about a inverse head and shoulders. So the first initial level is 2050, above 2050, the gap to 2150. So are you gap swing trade? Gap trade swings? Yeah, I'll trade. I'll swing trade into gaps for sure. Absolutely. Rarin, NFT correct collector. Rarin. Yeah, PayPal is going to move. PayPal is the only one of the few companies I'm gonna play. Um, yeah, I'm gonna open there. Chill, man. Oh, we gotta prep, my boy. Do I give lessons on how to read charts? I mean, kind of every day. All you have to do is ask, what am I talking about, or what is that? That is literally going to help you with everything. If you don't feel shy, like, and please don't, like I'm just a dude. Uh, just ask me, and I'm gonna try and answer you. If I don't know, I'm gonna find somebody who does. So please don't feel like you're bothering me. If I'm online, I'm here to get bothered. So thanks for the gifts. I appreciate that. If you guys are asking about Tesla, I just went over Tesla on YouTube. Just scroll back, you'll see it in the watermark. Costco has a gap, but the small account is still poor. Got you. All right. Could you cover SPY? I did cover SPY, but I'll do it one more time because I think it's pretty important. So I got one or two things here because I am a little bit worried that we're gonna start like with this type of price action, oftentimes you'll start things like this, like an inverse head and shoulders. But I already have it kind of mapped out. I think that SPY going through earnings season could pop up, and I'm not saying it will for sure, but for some reason, this resistance, and it could go higher. It could go fat. The volatility could be, we could end up, ripping to the upside first. Maybe I'm wrong, and we just continue to move to the upside, and we go move into that gap. But there is a gap up there, and that gap sure is close to our resistance and those key levels. And so, if we're gonna continue, if this is a correction, that's what it's gonna look like. Bull traps look like bullish moves for a reason. The thing that you're looking for oftentimes is major divergences, major drops and declines in volume, and high volume pullbacks. That's when you start to really see, okay, this is not real. So what is it? What about GM? General Motors? GGPPPI? Lucid is whack, bruh. All right, Meester. I don't think 157 people are going to pump your stock, my boy. Potter Bruh, what do you think about the QQQs? I believe it will hit back in the 380s. Yeah, I think a lot of stocks are gonna kind of cause people to think that we're going back into a bull market, and then we're gonna get clapped. So, Costco, Starbucks, perfect, just what I had in mind. And of course, we'll take it day by day, guys. Don't let your analysis be the reason why be moldable. You let the market tell you what it's gonna do, and then you figure out the best way to steal money from it. That's the goal. You don't find that suspicious? I find that suspicious. I just wanted to see something. All right. Um. Well, as you guys well know, this is on my watch list for a potential gap trade. I got it up to 141.75. I do believe that we're going to hit the 142.30 after that. It does have earnings soon enough where it would be not in my or your interest for me to give you any other analysis other than that. That's it. It's going into earnings, and the movement between now and then is not, there's not enough time for me to give you an analysis that's going to be accurate. So you could look, if you're looking for levels to the downside, you would look at like 120. And if you're looking at the levels, I would look at 150. And that's like straddle, stuff like that. So so you have gaps that go sideways and gaps that go up and down. What do you mean gaps? There's no such thing as like a sideways gap. It's just like this is a gap. You gap up or you gap down, and then that gap, gets traded in. And how you move through that gap, yes, you move down, up, or sometimes you chop halfway through it. Oh, thank you. Of course. Appreciate that. But yeah, I'm not going that far. I'm still not super bullish on the market at the moment, but alrighty, y'all. I'm gonna wrap it up here with a couple more stocks, and we'll go ahead and call it a night. I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Gonna go over the news. You guys want to ask me a question? Then you guys can do so in the morning. So, uh, and that goes for any question, especially you guys in the Discord. Take advantage of that time. Don't be shy. If you're in there, and you're in the members channel, and you've got a question, or if I'm in live trading and it's the early in the morning, and you have a question, let me know. I wanna help. So, um, I could definitely see Disney moving up to fill the gap, but still staying in a downtrend. What time am I starting tomorrow so I can wake my West Coast ass up? Uh, well, dip and rip. Just think about it. If you only wake up for hunting, then dude, we're doing a simulated hunt in the stock market, man. Liver King out. Okay, Liver King. All right. I think Nvidia is worth looking at, guys. So Nvidia is another one of those stocks that I really think is going to go for another retest, just like everything else. Uh, I could see it around 241. So just building up, right? It's honestly one of those stocks that could sit in range. And the range that I would set for NVIDIA would be at 240. So pushing up above 230, watch for 235.45 retest, and then a push up to the 240, 241.25. And then from there, probably eh, probably to the downside. Do I have any option flow screeners? I do in my Discord. Yeah. What is my best advice for someone who works midnights and wakes up just before power hour Monday and Wednesday? I would works midnights and wakes up just before power hour Monday and Wednesday. I would recommend if you can stay up. If you're up, I would probably recommend, yeah, something like gap trading, gap scalping, um, or swing trading. So that way you can buy at the end of the day and then wake up in the morning and you either take profit or cut losses and then take profit on your hedge. And it's that simple. So, and then just stick to it. So, if you guys are on the YouTube channel and if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I do appreciate that a whole bunch. It helps the channel. So, Pancreas King out. Stock Liver King out now. I did do Netflix on YouTube, so we did Disney already. A lot of retests that are going to happen this week, guys. That's my opinion. We broke a lot of levels. Some of them got to get retested. So, all right. I'm going to do GM as well. Oh my gosh. What did I have going on here? Oh my God. So that's a weekly double top with I think a target to the downside. That's not to say that you won't see some chop in this area before finally keeling over, but ultimately I think you're going to find yourself at 43.50 and possibly even as low as $40. You know what I would really want to you know what I really want to do, guys? I kind of really want to go take a put out down to the $40 line for a gap fill to the downside. Not on Chewy for us. That's a really good way to put that, but I'm gonna have to decline and do that in the morning, right after I write down this leap. So we might have to take a leap put out on GM. So I'm gonna write that down, but you guys should, and one of you guys remind me. Um, we're gonna have to do a GM. I'm writing it down. GM, but $40 strike. All right. Do I do this every Sunday? Pretty much every Sunday. And from now, well, not from now on, but from now on until I decide if this works or not, we're going to be starting this about 6 o'clock Eastern time. So, yeah, I would recommend swing trading for sure. I'm gonna hop off. I would watch GM for just another retest. I think you're gonna go find resistance on the slower time frame. That's either gonna come, and I'm not sure, where the point is right now, but um, I would anticipate a pop up to probably a 52.61. So, but set alert on that one because I think it's worth setting an alert on. Alrighty, everybody. I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. On YouTube, pre-market prep. I will say that this week, I will not be trading every single day on YouTube or TikTok. There are going to be a couple days where it's just going to be in the Discord, and that happens. That's kind of how I do things. But we will trade a couple of the days or this week. What was the leap put? Probably gonna take a GM leap put, probably a $40 put, probably going out till the summertime. But I will not be trading live every single day. We do have spots in the premium Discord, but this is just so that I can focus on the premium Discord, especially this week. I have a lot going on, and that's just gonna make it easier for everybody. So, um, I appreciate you guys. So, what are we thinking for SPY? I'm thinking we go up. Personally, I think we go up for just a little bit, and then go into earnings. So possibly till next week. Well, I'll let you guys know what position I'll take on that. So, but anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. You guys have a good night. I may go live later on TikTok just to goof around, but other than that, peace out. All right, guys. Night, night, night.